In this video, we're going to complete the arrivals by day of week and room type for exercise 3 add count, and here's the model answer for your reference. So first, let's calculate the arrivals for standard twin rooms arriving on a Monday. Once again, the data can be found on Ex3 hotel data sheet. So let's go and analyze it first. So what we want is to count how many people are arriving for a specific room type on a specific day of the week. And the range that contains room types is in C5 to C95. The range that contains the days when the guest is arriving is L5 to L95. So basically, we need to count how many bookings have the room type and at the same time are arriving on the day that we want. So this is still counting, except we have more than one criteria because we don't just look at room type, we also look at arrival day. And for this, we need to use a function called COUNTIFS, which has an S. We use COUNTIFS if we have more than one criteria for the number of cells that we want to count. So we need two criteria, therefore we can't just use COUNTIF. We need to have COUNTIFS with an S at the end of the function name. So I typed the opening parenthesis, and now it's ready to receive my first criteria range. My first criteria range is the range that contains the room types. That will be C5 to C95. I enter comma here. So this is my first criteria range, and my criteria will be that it's equal to whatever is the value in A15. And again, I remove the sheet name because it's not necessary because I'm in that worksheet right now. So this is my first criteria range and my first criteria. My second criteria is I only want to count bookings where the arrival is on a Monday. So I go back to Ex3 hotel data and I select my second criteria range, which is the arrival day, L5 to L95, comma, and my criteria is equal to Monday, which is in cell B14. Again, I don't really need to refer to the sheet because I'm on the same sheet. So now here is my first criteria, looking at the room type, and then my second criteria, looking at the arrival day. I have no other criteria, so I can type the closing parenthesis and press enter. You'll see that there were no arrivals for standard twin rooms on a Monday. Now let's take a look at our formula and check whether it's in a format that can be copied to the rest of the rows as well as the rest of the columns. So C5 to C95, that must be absolute. Now A15 refers to the room type. When I drag this formula down here, we want A15 to adjust and become A16, A17, A18, and so on. So we need to keep this row number relative. However, we will also be copying this formula to other columns, such as column C, D, E, F, G. When we copy this formula, we want column A to always refer to column A. So we need to make an absolute reference, but we want the column A to always remain as A. using a mixed reference here. Now this one needs to be absolute. B14 refers to the criteria for the arrival day. Right now B14 refers to Monday. But if we were to copy this formula to the other rows, we want the row number 14 to always refer to this. So we need to make 14 a fixed reference. So I'll put a $sign here. And if we were to copy this formula across, our criteria for the arrival weekday should always refer to row 14. However, the column should adjust. So if we were to copy it to Tuesday, it should become C14. If we were to copy it to Wednesday, it should become D14. So we can leave this column name as relative, but the row number should be absolute. Now things will become a bit more clearer when we copy this formula. But how about on other room types? That's also 0. Now let's copy it horizontally. Okay, so you will see that people just start arriving on Wednesday. We have a few arrivals, and majority of them arrive on Friday because this is a conference, so it probably hasn't started yet in the early part of the week, so there were no arrivals. So again, let's see the effect of using mixed references for our criteria. You'll see that when I copy the formula to, let's say, arrivals for deluxe twin room on Wednesday, so you'll see that because of our combination of absolute references and mixed references, we're always able to refer to the correct set of criteria. Now we just have to sum, okay, confirm that that's correct, and we can then copy it to the other columns.